Well, hello and welcome everyone to this edition of Chamber Chatter. We're coming to you from our Emery's Rock Realty studio here at the Shops at Wiregrass. We have a really cool topic to talk about, Double Branch. All right. So I have Matt from Columnar here with us and Will from RangeWater. We're going to talk about this extraordinary project here, and it is Wesley Chapel.
Technically, it's just Pasco County.
Just Pasco County.
We are unincorporated.
Yes, I know.
So we're on the border of Wesley Chapel and San Antonio.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, we're claiming Wesley Chapel, putting in
You
a
got
flag right now, so that you can put it on.
We'd love to.
Wesley Chapel has a really good brand.
That's how it started.
Right, exactly. So it's just Wesley Chapel. I heard
Right.
somebody call it South Wesley Chapel. I'm like, what? Never heard that before. But
I like that.
anyway, so let's talk about Double Branch.
Okay.
Matt, this is an incredible project, one that communities don't usually get. And the opportunity to have this come into our community. Tell us about how it got here
Yeah.
and what we're doing.
It is very rare to have 1,000 acres of land in a infill growing location like this, completely undeveloped. And, a lot of things happened, not all good, to get to that point. The recession kind of slowed down a lot of these master plan, large scale developments. But for our benefit, we got the opportunity to acquire all 1,000 acres right on the interchange with 75 about 2.5, 3 years ago. And put sort of our vision hand in hand with Pasco County's vision into place. And that's where we are. We're just getting started.
So just so people know, it's north of Overpass all the way to State Road 52
Correct.
on the east side of 75.
And then McKendree is the western border.
Western border of that.
Correct.
And so this is in connected cities.
It is. Correct.
So this is part of the whole metro development plan.
Correct.
And then this is going to have retail,
Retail,
residential,
residential.
multifamily,
Yep.
light industrial.
Yep.
And
Food and beverage.
office, food and beverage, lots of restaurants. Hotel. Wow.
Everything.
This is,
Maybe some medical use as well.
yeah,
So we are building a small city.
you are.
Yeah.
I know you are. And it's already under construction. I think your warehouses are,
So we delivered about 500,000 square feet of light industrial warehouse space last November, and plenty of opportunities for leasing still. And we're hoping to catch the massive, expansive growth of this part of Tampa. And with all the home builders and homes going up, suppliers, we've got all kinds of different large users, small users that we can accommodate for whether it's distribution, light manufacturing. It's pretty flexible space. And if we have a building that doesn't fit, we can go build another 3 million feet.
oh my gosh. So that's phase 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it depends on who shows up sometimes. We've flirted with all the big names in the country, quite honestly. Think your Amazons of the world, your Walmarts for their distribution sites. None of that's happened to date, but there is more and more activity for those large scale users every day now. And we could build them a building. We could build one spec and say we're the only one in town. And so we're working through that part of the business plan, but there's definitely a path for more and more warehousing space as Tampa and Pasco County continues to just explode.
It is exploding. But you guys have also made sure that the infrastructure is capable
Correct.
of handling that growth.
We are only about halfway through our infrastructure, and we're already capable of handling that growth. So everything from working with REC to get all the power there. We have a CDD in place, which has installed all of the underground utilities and the stormwater and major roads. So that part of the project, at least for phase 1, remember phase 1 is 500 acres of 1,000,
Right.
is all pretty well put in place. We've improved and the signal at McKendree Road and 52. We've improved 52 access into our project and improved McKendree Road headed south, and we'll continue to do so in the future.
So everybody is going to want to know all the names, and we'll get to all the
Yep.
names. But I had the privilege of seeing the renderings and what the whole community looks like from a aesthetic perspective.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about, and then we'll jump into RangeWater and how you fit into this puzzle.
Yeah, I'd love to. So it's very thought through, right? What we didn't want is just a hodgepodge of development, which you'll see oftentimes as stuff develops over time, where one person has one design, maybe a retailer comes in and says, I want my building this way. We've really created a general master plan aesthetic for the entire project. So whether you're in one of the multifamily buildings, whether you're in one of the townhomes, whether you're at the hotel, retail, it's all going to fit together. We're not saying it's all going to be cookie cutter, but it's all going to fit together. And, I don't know who coined the phrase, probably one of our architects, but it's contemporary Florida ranch is kind of what we're calling it.
You know what? That's great. So here's what when I saw the renderings, I go, oh my gosh, it's a cross between 30A, like Rosemary Beach up there, and Napa Valley. Like, just the ranch
I could see it.
part.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of both because it has a lot of greenery.
Yep.
It has a lot of coastal appeal.
Yep. There's exposed, wood elements, and there's this big tower, we call it Tower Pond Park, which is at the sort of terminus of the boardwalk area, which we'll talk more about later. So yeah, it's we're happy with the design and what we're encouraging and we'll continue to encourage that if there's other future parts of the project that maybe we don't develop, maybe a third party does, they're still going to live by those standards. So we've put something in place. This isn't a 2-year project for us. This is a 10+ year project for us.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that what we are starting with will be seen through over the next 10 years.
I think people lose track of the fact that they're long-term projects. So the Metro Development Project, that's a 50-year project.
Right.
We're only in year 10.
Right.
So I can imagine what this looks like for you guys in that 10-year project. Yes, it's going to be the initial, what you see, but there's more to come.
We're setting the tone today. We're setting the standard going forward, and we've created a structure that it will, right? Whether it's us in 10 years or whether it's the next guy, maybe it's 25 years from now, who knows where we all are, they're still going to live by these standards.
And that's very nice, especially for the people who have bought homes there.
Absolutely.
And so let's talk a little bit about the residential component and how many homes, how many units.
So let's start real quick and then I'll give it to Will. So there's multiple different product types, styles, available units, everything from sort of your traditional townhomes, attached townhomes, to sort of, maybe it's an age-restricted project. Remember, we have 2,500 units, something like that we'll be building over time, to your typical sort of mid-rise apartment and potentially structured apartments in the future. And so when we talk about the residential, there are something for everyone. The only one thing we're not doing is single family homes, because if you're familiar with our neighbors in Murata and Epperson, there's plenty of those.
Exactly.
And so we were more than happy when Pasco said, we think we have enough single family homes for sale. Can you guys do something a little bit different? We said we love to. Rental market, as long as you guys are okay with it, we're okay with it. And a lot of these will look and feel like, duplexes or single family homes, but they'll be, there's a distinction there that is just not another, neighborhood, if you will.
Right. It's just, and it's very thoughtful. The whole project is a master plan development that is all going to be synchronized. So like you said, it doesn't feel like things are just the odd man out.
Exactly. And Pasco's been very encouraging, and we've worked with them on the layouts and designs of a lot of these projects, where things like, we don't just want a sea of parking in front of these buildings so it looks like there's no community there, right? It's pull the buildings towards the green space, create the connected walkways, sidewalks, golf cart paths, you name it, we have it, that connect all these different pods, right? Because that's what they are at the end of the day with this many units to build, so that it feels like a neighborhood, but is not sort of your run-of-the-mill, developer special residential project.
Right.
Certainly elevated. It's truly a live, work, play. If I can use that phrase in this context that hasn't been seen yet in this part of the Tampa Bay area. So having that connectivity, but a lot of thoughtfulness, like Matt said, having the privilege of, from a management standpoint, to come in so early, to sit with Matt and his team, the architect and the designer, and actually have thoughtful conversations on the amenity programming, the floor plan design. To Matt's point, how does the parking look like? So it's not just a sea of parking. How do we position the buildings so you have that connectivity, the walkability, and really integrate the multifamily piece with the food and beverage and the retail and the hotel, and then the park itself, overlooking the lake. So really, really beautiful, unique concept, and just a lot of time and care went into it.
And that's because you were there from the beginning. And you were able to say, hey, here's all of our years of experience and what people are looking for, but next level. And,
That's right.
And taking it there.
And the team at RangeWater has been great because they have across the country, you name it, all kinds of product types, right? It could be a 2-story out in the middle of nowhere apartment building. It could be a beautiful high-rise,
Right.
in a major metro. And so we went sort of through, project by project with what they've done, what we've liked, and what competitors do as well, and say, hey, this is our vision. How do we get there? And it's something, it's like if you took a midtown location or a midtown type of project, not quite as dense as midtown Tampa, but try to turn that into more of a suburban lifestyle center. So the walkability is huge with that. The integration of the residential buildings into the storefronts, retail buildings, into the amenity centers, the lake. It was, we hadn't seen anything like it in the market. And so we sort of were creating from scratch, taking bits and pieces of other projects or other ideas that we really thought worked well.
I think it's going to be fabulous. And you guys are going to be managing all of the residential at Double Branch?
Focusing on multifamily phase 1, yes, and then there were conversations on how that townhomes will come along as well.
Yeah.
Components.
It'll be a phased delivery for sure. And some of the product will be for sale. So, there will be homeowners associations, that sort of thing, but it's not all rentals.
Okay.
Sure.
So when is this coming out of the ground?
So, it's a good segue.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way to answer that question is we're starting with the retail. Okay. What you see often in many locations is that a multifamily building sprouts out of a field with nothing around it, right?
Yep.
And so we said we don't necessarily think that's the best approach as we're trying to get people excited about living here, and nor do we want people being surrounded by a construction site while they're trying to live their lives.
My gosh, what a novel idea.
You're talking about attracting folks to live in a certain area. It helps the leasing, selfishly, when the retail and the food and beverage is already in place versus the other way, like Matt just
By the
described.
way, this is coming, but you're
Yeah, it's always future thinking versus here you have that already, and then they can see that, they can enjoy it from day one.
There's too many developers out there, naming names, that have promised big things to come that don't.
Then they
materialize.
don't. And then the poor real estate agents who sold us homes that were promised a certain thing, and they're like, sorry, that's what we were told. But this is again, going back to that thoughtful planning and making sure that you're doing it right the first time and leaving us in this community with something beautiful. And,
So to give a short answer to your question.
oh yeah, I forgot the question.
Is we hope to break ground on the first phase of the multifamily. I'm going to say middle next year.
Okay.
Okay, because when we get to the retail, you'll see why. And then we're also going to break ground the first phase of the for sale townhome units. That would be towards the end of this year.
Okay. So we'll just go right into that because we keep teasing the retail side of it. It seems every meeting, everything I go to, people always want to know, well, where's this? Where's this? So when's this coming? What's going on with that? So help us understand the methodology of
Sure.
a little higher than a normal exit on I-75.
Yes. So what we saw, and as we worked through our land planning and our project site planning and design, is that, and it makes sense. The home builders, right? All the Murata, all the Eppersons, all the you name it. It keeps growing west even further, they've been delivering thousands and thousands of units over the last 5+ years, right? And for retailers, you need that base of people nearby before they're willing to say, I want to be here, right?
It's always which comes first, the rooftops or the amenities.
And so fortunately for the lagoons, that was the draw for them. And then what was left behind was, sure, there's definitely some convenience retail sprinkled throughout, but there's no center of gravity like you have here at Wiregrass or some of the other projects locally. And so we said we want to be that center of gravity for all the services, all the amenities, all the entertainment that, quite honestly, don't exist on 52 yet. And so once we started putting our plan together, we went out to, we hired a great brokerage firm, Acre Real Estate, who's local here in Orlando and Tampa, and said, how should we put this together? And they jumped at the opportunity. The access off 75, the major thoroughfare on 52, the visibility both from 75 and 52, and the homes that have just continued to be coming out of the ground. I don't want to say made their job easy, but
I kind of think that's okay. Take it, it's a bragging point.
Okay.
Because it is.
But they've done a phenomenal job. And we never really considered to be in the position to tell people, no, we don't have space for you. Because that's really how quickly it's gone and how much interest the project has generated from the retail perspective. So if we want to talk a little specifics, the retail project in our mind is basically two projects within one. There is the grocery anchored everyday shops area. It's called the Shops at Double Branch. And that's going to be I pulled off the highway, I'm on my way home from work, I need to get groceries, I need to, whatever, run by the bank, get my car, whatever, your daily, everyday kind of use. And so that project being the shops is actually going to be a double anchored grocery store with a bunch of inline and restaurants and food service and a large fitness gym, which I can name them as EOS, who's local and all over the city and has done a fantastic job. Every time I've been in one, they've been just touring, not working out, but they've been packed.
They built a beautiful facility on State Road 54. So you said two grocery stores. Two grocery stores are going up there.
So I'll start with the obvious, easy one that everybody locally will know, and that's a Sprouts.
Yep.
And so Sprouts we love. It's boutique-y, but still accessible. It's it's specialty for sure, and it will just add something that's not in the market, right? Obviously Publix is down the street from us, and there's some other options not too far away. But Sprouts saw what was coming, and we had to, I didn't say give them convincing, but just to give them the data and information. And they said, we can't miss this opportunity.
Correct. Yeah. The demographics of this area is very appealing to brands such as Sprouts, and that higher end
elevates it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got calls from all the discount grocers, and we said, this might not be the product for you, because what we're planning on doing is creating this elevated from a design aspect, from an interconnectivity, from the neighborhoods. So Sprouts is the perfect fit for what we're looking at. And so they will anchor, call it the western half of the grocery anchored center. And then on the eastern half, something that we're very excited about and kind of pulled one out of the hat here is a grocer called Harris Teeter. And so if you're not familiar...
Breaking news coming right here from the chamber office.
If you're not familiar with Harris Teeter, a huge presence in the Southeast. They are just dipping their toe, I say dipping their toe, making a very strong push into multiple Florida markets. They've been up and running in Jacksonville for some time now, so it's not all the way new to them, but they've got big growth plans in Tampa, Orlando, all of Central Florida, Southwest Florida, and they're making a large expansion into the state, and we will be their first store in Tampa.
It's so exciting. Your residents are gonna love that well.
Absolutely.
And that's gonna happen before your project happens.
Correct.
Okay.
And so, if you're not familiar with Harris Teeter, it is, and I don't know if this is, if anyone's getting angry for me for saying this, but it's basically if Publix and Whole Foods had a baby, you get Harris Teeter.
I think it's perfect.
right.
Listen, we're combining all sorts of things today. I mean, Napa and 38, Publix and Whole Foods having a baby.
Yeah.
But it's affordable.
It's
It's not like
affordable.
franchise.
Yeah, so
Right.
they are a very large grocer nationally, so they get pricing power that even Publix doesn't get in a lot of these supply chains. And so it is your everyday grocery store. However, the quality and from the prepared foods to the deli and meat shop and the wine list, they have a very big wine.
Oh, all the mamas out there. Yes, sold.
It is more akin to a Whole Foods. So you can shop affordably, but you're still walking out of there with sort of premium experience. They're very service oriented. It is. If I had them near where I lived, then I'd be going there all the time.
Oh, I cannot wait
It's going to be fantastic.
to see that and to be a part of it. And all of this. So you and I chatted a little bit before we got started. Groundbreaking. Put some shovels in the ground and have a ceremony.
Yeah, we don't have a date necessarily circled on the calendar, but it's by the time we get through our permitting, we're in for permitting right now with the county, and we expect that'll come back to us sometime in June of this year, which could put a groundbreaking as early as July. So
For the retail.
that is for the retail.
For the
project.
retail. So each one of these have their own set of deliverable dates.
Correct. It'd be a lot to bite off to start everything the same day.
It would. It would. But hey, we're not professionals. You guys are. So we'll leave it to your discretion on that.
Yeah, I mean, the retail project in itself is about 300,000 square feet, which is a very large retail project for most any place. So it is a lot of design calls, a lot of engineering, a lot of construction budgeting, but we are getting dangerously close. And once we sort of get that, permit stamped from the county, we'll be ready to go.
All right. So we have 2 grocery stores.
2 grocery stores
So
and
let's talk.
a fitness and a
And
big
a
gym.
fitness center,
Yeah.
big gym. Okay, we've got those. Where are we eating?
So, we have a local favorite here in Tampa who is going to be our sort of kickoff lead restaurant. And so when I talk about the restaurants, there's going to be your typical convenience restaurants like you'd see, whether it's a Cava. We've got a great new bagel place coming in, H&H Bagel out of New York. This is their first expansion. And the smoothie shops, the coffee shops, all of that's going to be there too, right?
Okay.
But when we move to the boardwalk area, which is, for lack of a better word, our main street, which is where Will's project will be integrated into, so you're walking out your door.
That's right. So the multifamily, the manor building specifically will be adjacent to the food and beverage hall. Think like if I can say this, but like a miniature armature works almost.
Sure.
With different options inside that overlooking the lake.
The water feature.
Yes.
And so there's a boardwalk along the waterfront, which you can walk out your apartment, walk on the boardwalk, and you're right into Main Street. And so when you walk into Main Street from that location, the first thing you're going to see is Salt Shack.
We better get on the wait list. Trying to go to Salt Shack, it's a 3-hour wait.
I've experienced that myself, but we'll get you guys
Yeah,
that cards.
I need my parking pass from there. But that's incredible.
Yeah.
So they have to have a water feature, right?
They do. So it was a really fun project to work through with those guys. Again, local investors with a sort of national background, so they know how to run these things. They know what works, what doesn't work, and they basically had 2 hard, qualifiers to pick a site. And they're not looking for sites, by the way. When a site comes to them that they like, they'll jump on it, but it's not a big part of a big expansion plan. So we'll be the 3rd location. They have one in Orlando right now too, which has done fantastic as you'd expect. And so what they wanted to do is we want to be able to sit on the waterfront. It doesn't matter what kind of waterfront. It doesn't have to be the bay.
Okay.
So we've got a 30-acre plus lake that this will be or into the realms, and we want you to be able to watch the sunset over the water. Check.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna create that
Yes.
here in Wesley Chapel.
The lake is there. Now we just need to beautify everything
Beautify
around it.
it,
Yeah.
make it that beautiful green, blue color.
Yeah, a couple fountains out
Couple
there.
of fountains, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to see that from your
From the apartment buildings.
from the apartment buildings.
That's right.
I'm sure that those sunset views are gonna be the ones that go the first.
Oh yeah, there's always premiums pricing, but yes, it's be beautifully anchored in the manor building because the manor building will house the main amenities for the community as well as the leasing office, and so it'll be all tied in together beautifully.
Oh, this
So-
is exciting.
Yeah. So as you know, Salt Shack does live music
Yes.
pretty much almost every day,
Yes.
and so they're gonna have a boat like they always do.
Their shipwreck boat,
This one will be a little newer than the last one.
like the old looking. It just really lends itself to being authentic. Because I'm not gonna lie, the first time I went to Salt Shack in Tampa, I really thought it was a shipwreck boat.
So funny small tidbit, it is. That washed ashore during a hurricane, and they kept it.
Stop it. Okay. Did they find another one up here in Wesley Chapel?
We're still boat shopping.
Any of you have leftovers from the hurricane? Please don't hesitate to call me. I'll hook you up with shipwreck boat.
But the beauty of this one is that it's actually integrated into our Great Lawn. So at the terminus of the Main Street, you'll see, and I don't know how big it's large, right? 10-acre park. Maybe it's 5 acres. 10's probably pretty too big, but 5-acre park, green space with Salt Shack as kind of one of the focal points with your music, with your boat, walking all the way up to the lake, and then we'll have another 3 to 5 restaurants surrounding the same space. So this is a district we're building.
Yeah.
It's not a one-off.
Building a city.
We're building a city, and this is the entertainment district. So and Will's tenants will get to take advantage of this as well. But it'll be a very programmed space. So think concerts in the park, think farmers markets. If your company wants to have an event, it is a community space, which we see quite honestly, Murata residents jumping their golf cart, all that road just straight, it'll go straight west from Murata, is all being improved, and it's maybe a mile and a half
Yeah,
at most.
and that was kind of what was appealing to me too, is that it can be, you can drive your golf cart to the Salt Shack
Correct.
and go shopping, go grab a burger, whatever the case may be, because that is a golf cart community.
Take a jog to your Pilates class. I mean, we'll have boutique, we'll have the big fitness, but we'll also have the boutique fitness, the Pilates, the local operators. It is going to be a blend of local businesses, regional businesses, and national businesses, which is what we always had in mind.
And that's so important, again, going back to that thoughtful planning, because you now have green space. I know you're bringing in trees and plants to
Sure.
to subsidize the ones that you took out, but
There are no trees there.
I know there wasn't, but I'm just trying to give, I'm trying to make sure that the not in my backyard,
Yeah.
the NIMBYs, they're saying, oh my God, they're taking out all the trees. Well, the trees were gone there, but
So it was old ag land. They're using it for exactly what they're calling,
Pasture.
but it was pasture.
horses and some cows.
It was pasture land, but there are wetlands on the site too. And so we've improved and enhanced the wetlands to collect all the water as you do in Florida. And it's going to create a really nice, just general atmosphere. I'd love to have some of the old trees, but we didn't inherit those, so
Right.
we're going to have to put new ones in.
Well, you're going to put new ones in, but you're keeping that green space, and I think the colors too within the complex. The complex. What do I call it? Maybe what do I call it?
Communities,
Community.
building a community neighborhood.
District.
District. Community.
District.
District. The Double Branch District.
Double Branch.
DVD.
I like it.
We got that. All right. So the district, the colors, the aesthetic of it is with the environment in mind, right? And part of that Florida.
Of course, it's a lot of natural wood, but then it's also sort of mixed in there with the the blended sort of lighter colors, if you will, right? So that's where your 38 comes in.
Yes.
But with when we have the park is called Tower Pond Park,
Okay.
and there's a large decorative wood I don't want to call it a lighthouse or a windmill, but it's definitely going to be a centerpiece, focal piece, call it art, if you will, which sort of will play into that whole aesthetic of the site as well.
Instagram moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best. It has to have an official name so we can tell people you go around the whatever. So when you're giving directions, to my
Yeah.
apartment, you go around the
Oh yeah,
windmill, not a windmill, lighthouse, not a lighthouse.
it's a tower right now.
Tower.
Well, we can do our marketing focus on that.
Because it is Instagram and you need to have your little hashtag and
Oh, yeah.
all of that and setting the tone now. Because it's going to be an amazing visual watching this come to life.
Yeah, and it's all part of the boardwalk area, and there'll be your Adirondack chairs out there. You can watch the sunset and bring your picnic, or there's going to be plenty of purveyors that have food right there for al fresco dining, and it's going to be a really nice atmosphere.
I, from the chamber, would like to thank you for this very well thought out plan.
Yeah, I mean, like today, if you were going to look for that atmosphere, how far would we have to drive?
I don't even know where I would go.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to, it's different aesthetic. You would have to drive to Tampa proper, but again, to Matt's point, the center of gravity for this whole northeast quadrant, and just anchoring it, providing that elevated service for all these homeowners that come into the area since, call it the pandemic. The influx and the
Yes.
the rooftops, and now they have a place to really anchor and again, create that sense of community.
Sense
And
of
that's what people are looking for, especially post-COVID, having that outdoor areas and green space and just amenities where just to breathe a little.
Yeah.
And we were very, thoughtful when we said who was the community, right? This is going to be young families a lot, right? It's going to be, there'll definitely be some, singles and young professionals as well. But to create spaces, and when we decided what pieces we put into this, we want somewhere you can sort of bring the kids out with you or just have a date night, right? And they both kind of work with the different options we'll have in the park space and in the restaurant offerings.
This is so awesome and so exciting. And I thank you both for coming in and sharing this with us. I am going to put the link at the bottom
Please
at
do.
the end so that everybody can go and check it out and see what exactly we're talking about. But again, thank you for the thoughtfulness, because so many times developers just come to a community, slap up their stuff and they're out.
We've been investing in Florida for over 15, 20 years, and we'll continue to do so for, 15 to 20 years beyond now. And so we can't do that.
Right. No, you don't want that. You don't
No.
want your kids coming
And-
over and be like, Dad, what did you do over there?
Yeah, and we have a big team that's local here, right? So we have to be, long-term investors.
And again, we appreciate that. Well, we look forward to doing your groundbreaking.
Yes, ma'am.
You guys are ready for that part A, B, C, D.
It'll be right on the heels of the retail groundbreaking.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for
Thank you.
making the journey up here and chatting with us. I know everyone's going to be excited, so we'll probably have you back as we get closer, maybe do an in-person event where
On site.
yeah, that's what we're
Take it on the road.
aiming for. Chamber Road Show.
There you go.
Love it. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, so.
Thank you.
That's it. That is it.
Okay.
Did we cover all your?
The only thing I was going to add,
Uh-huh.
is jobs.
The local, adding jobs to the area.
Let's do it real quick.
Because that's a big pushing.
I know. For the county. Yeah, just like
And-
your permit.
Okay.
Good call.
Very good call. So I hope that we'll be able to edit it for some reason, and we can just put it on the back end.
Okay.
So when we're talking about all of this development, people are living, it's really about the jobs.
It is about the jobs.
How many jobs are you guys thinking that you're going to be able to? I know you'll know right off the top of your head how many jobs you guys have, but for you and all the different.
It's that's a very difficult question to answer, and it's going to be over a period of time, and it's going to be a lot of different kind of jobs. So obviously the service industry jobs will come with the retailers, right? But it's more than that for us. the warehousing distribution buildings that we've built 3 of already and intend to build many, many more, those are gonna create, hundreds if not thousands of jobs as well in each of those buildings, right? And those jobs range from, your average warehouse worker to a couple of groups we're talking to are, 6-figure salaries, right, for within those spaces. So it's a good diversity of jobs within those buildings, and those will be coming as we continue to develop and lease space. And then the last little thing, which I've always had a soft spot for, is office. And if you're living in Wesley Chapel,
Yes, Wesley Chapel. It is Wesley Chapel.
and you're commuting to Tampa,
Oh, that's terrible.
it's not the best, quality of life sometimes. And so, as you look at how Tampa's grown from an office standpoint, it's one of the cities that's kept a pretty strong core. And there's not much outside of it. There are definitely some opportunities in office buildings. But what we have in mind is something for the local, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an engineer, somebody that doesn't need to go into Tampa, but has to because that's where their office is creating in our retail district, again, mixed use, boutique office space. So in phase 1 here, we already have planned about 20,000 feet of second-story office, which you can look out, there'll be balcony, look at the lake, see what's going on in the park, look at Salt Shack, great happy hour spot. And we've already had, national firms asking us about office space. And so what that got us thinking, and again, this is early, so I don't want to make any promises, but in this first round, this first phase, is doing more office space, quite honestly. Sort of boutique buildings, you're not going to see the beer can tower on their side.
Yeah, no.
You need. There are very limited options, and most of them are full when you get sort of this far north of Tampa. And so I do think that's going to be a big driver in jobs. And furthermore, the medical community and healthcare providers in Pasco, Wesley Chapel, it is a highly successful, highly fast growth industry. And as we look at our project, there's a phase 2, right? As we mentioned, we're doing the first 500 acres out of 1,000. They weren't quite ready yet to dip in, but they've said, get us on the list first for phase 2. So as we continue to build south towards Johns Hopkins, which just topped out their beautiful campus,
Oh my God.
we do see more opportunity for whether it's hospitals, whether it's medical office services, that will be part of a growing job base in the community.
Yeah, Wesley Chapel has very quickly become a healthcare innovation district.
Just Sparrow,
Yes,
Development,
Sparrows,
Moffitt.
Moffitt, just Orlando Health, Johns Hopkins, Baycare, Advent. Wow. A community that gets to build this, but also has 4 hospitals that came out of the ground in the last 10 years.
It's coming, and it's coming to our site, but that is going to be sort of, again, it's a phased project.
And that's more jobs.
More jobs.
Well, we're very excited about all of this project. We cannot wait to celebrate with you and to watch your vision come true and see it solved.
Always.
Excited.
Thank you.